It was never supposed to end like this. Not for Jamie, not for Claire, and not for us, the fans who followed their love across centuries. Asterisk for years, Jamie Fraser and Claire Randall have been the heart of Outlander. Their story began with a strange moment of time travel, a leap through the stones that sent Claire from the 1940s to 18th century Scotland. That one moment changed everything. She met Jamie, a Highland warrior with a loyal heart and a fire in his soul. What followed was not just a love story, but a journey of survival, pain, healing, and deep devotion. Through the wars they fought and the years they lost, they always found each other. That's what made their bond feel so real. It was built on more than just romance. It was sacrifice, it was trust. It was forever, but now, as the final season approaches, everything feels like it's coming full circle. The trailer begins quietly, no loud music, no drama at first. Just Claire's voice, soft and trembling. She says, "Every time we're torn apart, we find our way back." But what if this time we don't? That one line hits hard. It tells us that even Claire is unsure this time. Even she, the strong, clever, stubborn woman we've seen survive? The impossible feels the weight of this final chapter. And when Jamie looks at her in silence, eyes full of both love and fear, we know we are not ready for how this will end. The first images from the trailer show quiet moments. Jamie holding Claire's hand tightly. Bree and Roger looking worried. The American colonies burning in the distance. It feels like a warning. A storm is coming. One that not even time travel can stop. It's more than just another season. It feels like a goodbye. Fans are already reacting online. Words like devastated, unprepared, and heartbreaking are everywhere, because we all feel it. This isn't just the end of a show. It's the end of a journey we took with these characters. A journey that began with one curious woman and one brave man and turned into something so much bigger this season. Claire and Jamie will face their greatest test. The Revolutionary War is in full force. Enemies from both past and present threaten the people they love, and the worst part? They might not be able to face it together. For the first time in the series, the real question isn't what will happen, it's who will survive it. The trailer teases powerful moments, Claire crying out Jamie's name in a field of chaos. Jamie standing tall as cannons roar behind him. A letter being sealed with wax, and a tear. These are not just dramatic shots, they are emotional signals. This is the beginning of the end, but why does it hit so hard? Because we've lived their story. We've seen them fight through time, death, and destiny just to hold on to each other. And now that grip might loosen. Not because they gave up, but because history is cruel. Because life, even in fiction, doesn't always give us the ending. There is something hauntingly beautiful about how quiet the trailer begins and how heavy it becomes. The love story that once started with stolen glances and secret touches now carries the weight of war, family, time, and fate. Every scene feels like it could be the last. Every word feels like a farewell, and that's the genius of this final season. It doesn't scream at us. It doesn't explode with action. It quietly breaks us. Because deep down, we know Jamie and Claire were always racing against time. And this time might finally catch up. Outlander has never been just about romance. It's always been about endurance. The kind of love Jamie and Claire share is not built on perfect moments. It's built on pain, survival, and choices no one else would ever understand. That's what makes the final season so terrifying. Because for once, love might not be enough. In the trailer, there's a moment that fans can't stop talking about. Claire is holding Jamie's bloodied shirt, her hands shaking. She doesn't speak, she doesn't cry, she just looks down, frozen. That silence says everything. We don't know if Jamie is alive, we don't know where he is. But we do know Claire fears the worst. And for her to stand still after all she's endured, means this loss might be deeper than anything she's faced before. Then the scene shifts. We see Jamie leading troops into a smoky battlefield. His voice narrates, "If I die here, let it be with her name on my lips." That line is enough to stop any fan's heart. Jamie Fraser, who has survived prison, betrayal, and decades apart from Claire, is now speaking like a man ready for the end. It's not just romantic, it's tragic. Because if Jamie's ready to die, then maybe this season really will leave us in tears. This isn't just about two people anymore. The stakes are wider now. Their daughter, Brianna, is trying to keep her own family safe back in a world of machines, not muskets. Roger is fighting a different kind of battle, one of faith and survival. And in between lies Jemmy, their grandson, who might just be the last thread that ties both centuries together. The showrunners have hinted that time travel will play a role in the finale, but not how we expect. A strange device is shown briefly in the trailer one that looks like a cross between a compass and a sundial. Fans believe it's linked to an ancient time gate, something that could rewrite the rules of time itself. Could this mean Claire will be forced to choose between two timelines? Between the past she loves and the future that holds her bloodline? The idea is haunting. Because for all these years, Claire has chosen Jamie. She gave up her modern life, her safety, her comfort. She stepped through time again and again for him. But what if now her love for Jamie could risk the lives of her children and grandchildren? What if love, this time, is the very thing that could tear everything apart? And then there's that final shot in the trailer, Jamie and Claire standing in the woods, holding hands, backs to the camera. They're watching the sunrise. It's quiet, peaceful, almost too peaceful. That's what makes it scary. Because when Outlander gives you a quiet moment, it usually means a storm is seconds away. What's truly unique about Outlander is how it constantly reminds us that love is never free. Every kiss, every reunion, every tear has a cost. And now, in this last season, it seems like the final bill has come due. The audience is bracing for heartbreak, not because they doubt the love, but because they know love doesn't always get a happy ending. This season will not be gentle. It won't give us fan service. It will give us truth, the truth of war, of time, of aging, of letting go. And it will test whether Jamie and Claire's love can still stand when everything else falls. Time has always been the heart of Outlander. It was once the magic that brought Claire and Jamie together. Now, in the final season, time becomes their greatest threat. Because time doesn't just pass, it pulls, it breaks, and sometimes it doesn't give back what it takes. In the newest scenes revealed, Claire stands at the edge of a battlefield. Smoke rises in the distance, and she's holding something small, Jamie's carved wooden snake. It was once a gift. Now it feels like a symbol of everything slipping away. Her voice whispers, "How many more times can we lose each other before there's nothing left to find?" It's the kind of question no one wants answered. But this season might answer it anyway. The timeline is collapsing around them. The American Revolution is tearing the colonies apart. Families are fleeing. Friends are choosing sides. And the future, the one Claire once belonged to, no longer feels like home. Even Brianna and Roger, who tried to stay in the future with their children, feel the pull of something unfinished in the past. Claire and Jamie are the anchor, but anchors can sink too. One of the most haunting theories floating online is this: Jamie never makes it to the future because he's not meant to. The stones never called to him. He's a man of his time. But Claire, she still carries the echo of the future in her blood. And as the war closes in, fans believe Claire may be forced to make one final jump, not for herself, but to save their legacy, to carry Jamie's story forward, even if he can't come with her. There's a scene, brief, silent, but unforgettable. Claire sits at a writing desk, quill in hand. Her face is wet with tears, but her hand is steady. She writes, "For my children and their children, so they may know the man he was." The screen fades to black after that line, and fans were left speechless. It doesn't confirm anything, but it feels like a goodbye. Even the actors have hinted at a bittersweet ending. Sam Heughan said in an interview that the final scenes were the hardest he's ever filmed. Catriona Balfe called them devastatingly beautiful. And when the cast hugged on the final day of shooting, someone reportedly said, "This isn't just the end of a show. It's the end of an era." That's what makes this season so different. It's not about time travel anymore. It's about the time that's left. It's about what you do when you know goodbye is coming and you can't stop it. It's about choosing love, even when you know it won't last forever. The tragedy isn't in their separation, it's in how hard they fight to stay together knowing they might lose. It's in the quiet looks, the shared glances, the way Jamie still reaches for Claire's hand without even thinking. Those are the moments that hurt the most, because they remind us that this story was never about magic. It was always about people, two souls who met in the wrong century, but never let go. Done now, fans are holding their breath. Not because they're afraid the story will end badly, but because they know the ending will hurt, because it matters. Because Jamie and Claire were never just characters, they were hope. They were strength. They were proof that love can survive anything except maybe time itself. There's something final about the way the screen fades to black after Claire whispers Jamie's name one last time. No music. No closure, just silence. That silence speaks louder than any farewell ever could. And that's what makes the ending of Outlander feel like a wound we'll carry long after the show is over. In the final moments teased by the showrunners, we don't see a grand battle. We don't see a dramatic death. Instead, we see something much harder to watch: Jamie's eyes slowly closing as Claire holds him, begging him to stay awake. Not because he's wounded, but because he's slipping through time. Not traveling, fading, as if his presence was always borrowed from the past and now time is finally reclaiming him. But is that the end? Fans are divided. Some believe Jamie will vanish into legend, never seen again. Others cling to the hope that the story will loop that. Maybe Claire finds a way to write his name into the future. Maybe his blood lives on in a child we never knew existed. Maybe Jamie's story doesn't end, it just changes form. There's one hidden detail in the trailer that sparked a frenzy online. A worn-out copy of a book one with the initials JF on the inside cover, found in the future by a young Fraser descendant. The title is never shown, but fans believe it's Jamie's memoir, a record Claire may have written. A piece of Jamie sent through time, hidden in plain sight. If true, it's the ultimate twist. He never traveled, but his story did. And that's what survives. Claire's fate remains uncertain. Some scenes show her walking alone on a quiet path, older, slower, but still strong. Her eyes carry memories too heavy for one life. We see her look to the sky, as if listening for a voice that's no longer there. Yet on her lips, she still whispers, "I'll find you, even if it takes another lifetime." That one line so simple carries the weight of 8 seasons. Because that's what Outlander has always been. A promise that love, real love, doesn't die. It may be lost. It may be buried under years, wars, and broken time. But it waits, it lingers. And one day it returns. And that's the genius of the final season. It doesn't give us what we want. It gives us what we feel. It leaves questions unanswered, moments unfinished, because real life is like that. And in doing so, it cements Jamie and Claire not as fictional characters, but as a legend, a myth, a truth told through story, passed from one heart to another. As the final episode ends, there's no fanfare. Just a fire burning low, a stone circle half covered in moss. A voice, maybe Claire's, maybe someone else's, reading from a worn journal. He was a man of honor, of fire, of love. And I was the woman who walked through centuries just to find him. It doesn't matter if we see Jamie and Claire holding hands in the last frame, or if we're left with just echoes. What matters is that their love lasted across lifetimes. That even when time tried to tear them apart, they kept finding their way back, again and again. And now, it's our turn to let them go, but we don't say goodbye. Not really. Because every time we remember their story, every time someone new presses play on episode 1, Jamie and Claire live again, that's not an ending. That's forever.